Hello, my name is Janet Xuccoa and I'm a partner at Gilligan Rowan Associates. Back in March, I presented on behalf of our firm to our clients on the Auckland Unitary Plan. Since the seminar, many people have asked me for a copy of my presentation, and so I've decided to film this short blog. By the way, our firm is joining with New Zealand Home Loans and Auckland Property Management and holding another seminar in July. This seminar will cover the Auckland Unitary Plan and the issues and the opportunities we see the plan bringing about. Additionally, we will cover interest rates, in particular what we think interest rates will do, and also tips on how you can improve the type of tenant you attract for your rental property and the amount of rent you actually receive. Now to the Unitary Plan. Well, you'd have to be living under a rock not to know that Auckland has a housing shortage. That's a big news flash and it's been in the media for the last couple of years really. Pre-recession we suffered a shortage of building houses and building all but stopped during the recession. Post-recession we really haven't caught up and we have been caught short. Auckland faces a housing crisis because of several factors. There's a persistent undersupply of housing to meet demand. There's a lack of housing choice. Poor quality, unhealthy and overcrowded housing occurs, and of course there's the declining affordability and home ownership that have beset a lot of our people. A supply imbalance results because developers simply haven't been building. But this isn't just about money. Developers haven't been constructing stacks of mortar because of scarcity and costs of land, because of the actual building costs of materials. High development costs, especially council fees, have also been a reason. And then we've had increased construction costs of labour. A lot of people have headed off to Ruland, and the limited supply of good quality building people have actually pushed up labour prices. And then finally there is the sheer amount of red tape that our developers have to jump through to actually get a consent and get building going. Auckland house prices have outstripped increases in income, and that's certainly not news, is it? Everybody knows that. House prices are now approximately 6 times above the median household income in Auckland. It's estimated an additional 1 million people are going to come into Auckland as well. What all of this means is that we need around about 400,000 dwellings to house them. About 25,000 a year need to be created. We can't all live under the Auckland Harbour Bridge or in tents. And people frequently say, well, we don't want 1 million people in Auckland. But the point is they'll come. And they'll come because this is where the jobs are. People are attracted to cities which have employment opportunities because quite simply they need to be employed to have coin in their pocket to be able to live. So we know they're going to come. What that's all cultivated in really is the Auckland City Council and the government getting together, having a discussion in an attempt to fix our housing shortage. And they're going to do this by the introduction and the implementation of the Auckland Unitary Plan. The main objective of the plan is clear. It's to provide quality, affordable housing. The plan is going to serve as a rulebook. It's going to dictate what type of housing can be built and where that building can occur. Under the plan, housing is meant to be up, so it's meant to go up and it's meant to go out. 70% of new housing, we believe, will be constructed with existing urban footprints. In other words, where houses already reside. The other 30% of new housing is going to be constructed in what is known as greenfields and brownfields. Greenfields, well, that really means farmland or rural land. Brownfields, what that is referring to is tracts of land that have already been zoned and used, possibly for commercial and industrial purposes. The new builds must also be green, and if anybody knows what building green means ultimately, then they will understand that it generally means more costs. The term green has not been defined in the plan, but if indeed it is going to be, as is historically known, to incur more costs for a builder, then those costs will have to be passed on. That's not going to help affordability, by the way. So is the plan a solution? Well, I've already just mentioned one tension, but there are other tensions that exist. More houses are needed, undoubtedly. But what about the greenfields? Do we want houses to actually be moved into the green areas, into the rural areas? There's an acronym that goes around called NIMBY. In other words, not in my backyard. Everybody loves to see the green tracts of land, but we desperately need housing. Then, of course, one must ask the social question. Does a family of 3 even want to live, or should they live, in a high-rise in Papakura? Is this really the New Zealand way? There's lots of issues to be addressed. A cure for obesity is not the loosening of your belt. When you really compare that to the unitary plan and the transportation and the sheer traffic issues that you can see occurring, then it's implicit as an understanding that bringing 1 million people into Auckland means that some roading and transportation system has to occur. And you would have heard in the media recently, who's going to pay for those costs? There's been a plan that's been going around, light rail. It's going to cost a lot of money. Is the rest of New Zealand going to pay for that, or is it just going to be down to Auckland people? Building material costs are not going to go down, and neither are labour costs. So what's going to happen with regards to that? Still an attention will occur around those issues, especially with regards to affordability. And then what about the council fees and the process time for consents? Or we're well building houses, but they all need consents, earthwork consents, precedent consents, civil engineers consents, resource consents, finally a building consent. That costs money and it takes time. At the moment we've got at least 9 months wait going through council for a consent. That's expensive when you have to wait a long time to build. So given all the information I've just imparted to you, you must be wondering what effect will the unitary plan have on existing and new housing in Auckland? Do you think there's going to be an opportunity to make money out of property right now, given the proposed plan? And if so, where do you think the best parts of Auckland are going to be to buy in? To find out these answers, come to our seminar which we're holding on the 2nd of July with New Zealand Home Loans and Auckland Property Management. The last seminar sold out. It sold out within a week. So please don't delay. Book your ticket now by going to our site at www.gra.co.nz. I look forward to seeing you there.